So the first connective tissue I'm going to talk about is blood. Okay, so blood, first of all, consists of straw-coloured plasma. It's the watery base to the blood. And this straw-coloured plasma is the bit that kind of carries the blood. Plasma is mainly water, which is in which various substances are carried, such as dissolved gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and nutrients like glucose and amino acids, salts, enzymes, and hormones. So this plasma sort of is a carrier. There is also a combination of important proteins, collectively known as plasma proteins, which have roles in blood clotting. So I'll talk about them in a minute, but one of them is known as fibrinogen. The most common cell by far in the plasma are the red blood cells, which you can see here, and they're like donut shaped. These are very small cells with elastic membrane, which is important because the membrane often has to distort to travel through the smallest capillaries, so it has to change shape or squeeze through. They have no nucleus in their mature state, which provides a large surface area to be exposed to oxygen. And what happens, as we'll see, we'll talk about it in a minute, they are also packed with hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is the protein that makes them turn red. So the reason why they've got this red colour is because they've got hemoglobin. Okay, in oxygenated blood, so when the blood has got oxygen in it, the hemoglobin is bright red. But in deoxygenated blood, after the red blood cells drop the oxygen off and picked up the deoxygenated blood, which is usually carbon dioxide, they go a darker red colour. Okay, due to the absence of nuclei or no nucleus, they cannot divide and have a limited lifespan of only 120 days. White blood cells, leukocytes, are much larger, so we don't have them here, and are nucleated, but there's less of them. Okay, there are several types, but the most most of them are also known as there's several types, but the one that's most, or most of them, are granulocytes, and they're really important. Okay, so they do have cytoplasm as well as a nuclei, and they're capable of changing shape. And what they do is they get round the illness, these white blood cells, and they engulf the foreign material, which is a bacteria or a virus, and they try to kind of digest it. Okay, they act a bit like an amoeba, which means that they split down. They're very important because they help the body to defend against any infections. Okay, so if you've got infections, what happens is those white blood cells go directly to that site, they go to it, they get round it, they engulf it, and they try to digest it. Lymphocytes are the smallest white blood cells within with a round nuclei, and they have clear cytoplasm, and they assist with the production of antibodies. So antigens are found on the surface of the coats of disease causing microbes or pathogens, and act as an identity marker for different types of pathogens. Antibodies neutralize antigens and prevent the microbes from multiplying, so they prevent the illness from spreading, or try to. Finally, monocytes are another type of white blood cell, and they're larger than lymphocytes, and they also have a large round nuclei and clear cytoplasm. They're very efficient. And they can leave the circulatory blood vessels to travel to the site of an infection and begin removing or digesting the bacteria or virus very quickly. And then we've got thrombocytes, and they're not true cells, but they're usually classified or classed within the white blood cell category, and they're commonly called platelets, and they are products of a much larger cell, and they've been broken up, and what they do is they rush to the site and they try to clot the wound or infection. Okay, and that's pretty much blood in a nutshell.